Greetings, greetings, everybody. Greetings, greetings, greetings. I hope everybody's doing well today. This is Kenny Revolutionary. I'm out. The weather is wonderful today. I had to shoot this outside. Let me fix my camera. Let me bring it up. Oh crap! Orientation is lock. Rotates device back. All right. I'm crappy at this. All right. Karibuni, 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 karibuni. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends and comrades. Drinking Fanta as usual. Wonderful, wonderful day. It's supposed to be winter. It's supposed to be cold, but it's not. So, anyway, as you can see, the topic today is uh, Gachagua is a cretin. It's a cretinous thug, tribal chieftain that seems to think that somehow he's doing Kenyans a favor. Gachagua is not doing anyone a favor. Let me just let you know right now. Let me just move. I have to keep on walking because I'm somewhere where, I'm enjoying the weather. I'm walking, but let me talk to you guys for a few minutes. I don't have all my gadgets, so I can shoot a video. So I just resorted to this where we can just have a discussion about Gachagua. Where can I walk? Let me just go this way. Anyway, like I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I'm not going to make this a long one. It's going to be brief, but I want to really mention this. I watched Gachagua's snippets of Gachagua's speech today, and he kept on telling us, the interviewer, whatever the case is, that Ruto offered him $2 billion to quit politics basically and just go chill out somewhere in the sunset. Here's the thing with that, Mr. Gachagua. I think this whole thing about Gachagua and Ruto, to me personally, I think it's getting old. I think Gachagua needs to stop with this whole I got offered $2 billion doing any. I think it's getting old. We understand that you're not getting along with Ruto, your former boss, or whatever the case is. But this beef is getting old and it's boring. But I wasn't bothered by that because obviously you can see that what they're trying to do, both of them, whether it's the Gachagua side or Ruto side basically led by Sudi with his videos about Muamunyoro, all that stuff, stupid stuff. What they're trying to do again, with the help of Gladys Wanga on the other side, is to, again, heighten the tribal tension, divide the country, because again, like I told you, none of them will get the majority. But anyway, I want to zero in to the point that I wanted to make today. And the point that I wanted to make today, which is a larger point that really, really kind of made me mad, is what Gachagua said. On the surface area, it seems very innocuous, nothing really to be alarmed about, but it was done deliberately, delivered deliberately. So it is meant to make you feel like, that's nothing, he didn't mean it this way, but this is exactly what it means. Now let me refer you to what I'm talking about. Part of Gachagua's in his interview, there was a point where he said that we are going to try to beat Ruto in 2027 by at least 2 million votes or 6 million votes or whatever the case is, 6 or 5 million votes. I don't have a problem with that. But where it gets tricky is when Gachagua started saying this, and this is what he said. He said he kind of focused his attention to the Western province, Watu West, Western province, okay, Mulembe Nation. And he was saying that Watu Mrima will get together with Watu Western province. And no, he didn't stop there. He just said this. He brought in this whole idea of Bantus getting together. Even the Western people can lead this country, okay? And he zeroed in on this notion that, Kikuyus have so much in common with Luya Nation, Mulembe Nation, because they are both Bantus. And one part that he highlighted that actually I felt was a little bit, is when he said, you know, we share a lot of traditions with the Luya people, such as circumcision. Now, on the surface of it, you might say, you know, okay, that's just a really innocent, innocuous statement. He didn't mean evil about it. There was nothing, nothing to it. But if you pay close attention, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies and comrades, here's where the tricky part is. As we know, the political class have been trying to divide Kenyans along tribal lines. You hear Wanga on the other side, on the Luo Nation, where he points her finger, at the Mrima, the Kikuyus, saying that the Kikuyus are jealous of Luos because Luos are finally in government, and that Kikuyus should not cry because now they're in government. Now, of course, she says that because she knows she's trying to alienate the Kikuyu nation. And the Kikuyus on the other side, led by Gachagua, Moses Kuria, and all these useless people, they are also using that. And that's why they're trying to lure the Luya nation, and they're trying to also throw a jab, okay, at the Luo nation, not overtly, but in a clever way by using that whole circumcision thing. If you know, in Kenya, the whole thing is Luos, if you know their tradition, they never get circumcised, so to speak. And when I'm talking about circumcision, I'm not talking about the teeth. I'm talking about down there, okay? So it's well known that Luos do not get circumcised. So for Gachagua to say that, okay, we share a lot in common with the Luya people, and we share traditions, common traditions, the commonalities, part of it is circumcision. He's basically saying in not so many words that, hey, listen, we have so much in common. Forget those people from the lake. We have more in common with you than you have with Luos. Of course, Luos and Luyas, politically, they've always been aligned together. They even refer to themselves as Shemeji, cousins, or whatever the case is, okay? Because they've lived together. And if you go listen to Raila Odinga's speech one day when he was giving how him and Fred Gumo kind of migrated Luos, a lot of Luos in Nairobi, to kind of, cultivate a strong voting bloc. So this is Gachagua basically trying to say, using tribal undertones, trying to be clever about it by pointing his fingers at Luos, saying that, listen, Luyas, we can get together and we can win this thing. See, my problem is this with Gachagua, okay? I can care less about his beef with Ruto. It's none of my problem. In fact, I even defended him when they impeached him unconstitutionally. But the problem is, like I said, this guy is playing a dangerous game, and it's not only him. I'm using him in this video because of all these nitwits that are running around the country. I think he has a huge voice, especially in Central Province, okay? And a lot of youth sympathized with him when he got impeached. But he's using this newfound fame, sympathy that Kenyans gave him to actually further divide the Kenyan population. And that's why I have a problem with this guy. He keeps on saying that he's a truthful man, but his intentions are not pure. If you really care about the Kenyan people, why don't you rally people around an ideology, okay? A political philosophy, not tribal groupings, mentioning this tribe coming together with this tribe is equal to that tribe, okay? We winning the presidency. As much as that might be a history of Kenya, that is precisely what we are trying to move out of. That's why Gen Zs were clear when they were, on the streets saying tribeless, partyless, and all the less, leaderless, okay? That was the whole point, because they understood that this Kenyan politics is designed, okay? Is designed to divide people through tribal demarcations, okay? And that's why I have a problem with Gachagua. He's using his position, his newfound fame, the voice that he's having, instead of using it for good, he's using it to divide people. And unfortunately, he is actually doing the very thing Ruto is accusing him of. Okay? You know, people felt sorry for Gachagua. And even when he was being impeached, everyone from Nyanza, Coast Province, Western Province, Nairobi, you know, everywhere, even Rift Valley, they were saying, some parts of Rift Valley, that is, they were saying, hi, Gypsy Corner, they were saying, dereva akienda, pia Makanga aende, okay? Makanga akienda, pia dereva aende. Basically saying, if they're going to impeach Gachagua, the president as his boss also needs to go, because they didn't agree with this whole idea of removing Gachagua unconstitutionally. But this guy, while he had the support of majority of Kenyans, instead of using it in a nice way to galvanize Kenyans, he went back to his Munyoro, wherever the case is, and he's starting this nonsense, okay? He's digging it deep. He's pushing on this tribal agenda. I mean, I usually don't even give Ruto 2 seconds in what he says when he's talking about Gachagua, because I feel like whatever differences they have, that sounded like a personal problem. And Gachagua was impeached unconstitutionally. Unconstitutionally, I maintain that. But for him to come out and start calling out, trying to lure the loyal people, by using things like, oh, we are both Bantus, so we share much in common, such as circumcision. What about the people who supported you who are not Bantus? What about the Nilotic people who supported who are not Bantus? What about the people who are Kushites who supported you who are not Bantus? What do you mean by that? This is the kind of tribal, irresponsible speeches that these demagogues, these tribal chieftains, these useless so-called leaders, okay, use to divide Kenyans. And I'm sorry to say this, but we keep on playing these games. Gachagua, Gladys Wanga, Kaluma, Robert Alai, Ruto himself, Oscar Sudi, okay, Martha Karua. You keep on playing that tribal politics. Don't be surprised if we have another 2007 in 2027. Okay? I see you, Gypsy Corner. I'll read yours in a minute. You see what I'm saying? It is easy to be brave in a time of peace, saying all kind of sorts of things against that tribe, that tribal grouping, all those Bantus, all those Nilots, all those. It's easy to do that when it's time for peace. But let me remind you, when it comes to war, when you see young children getting hacked with a panga, machete, and guns, and bodies being burnt, that's when it stopped being funny. That's why Gachagua, I wish I could tag him. I'm gonna use this video and I'll tag him on X. I think if he's in X. I want you to use your words very carefully, because there are people who follow you. You have some influence. I feel sorry for those who follow or support you, because I think they are misled. I think you're a cretinous thug. We know you from 1992. You've been working under Moi and you killed people. Okay? But I would have thought, I felt some type of sorry for you when you were impeached. I felt maybe you have some redeeming qualities. But here you are, you're showing your true face. Continue with this tribal politics. And you don't care about your consequences. It's a shame. It's embarrassing to see you go out there instead of saying what political plan you have. What plans do you have for the nation, for uniting the nation, which is already fragmented? That's what you should be doing. The names that you name, like Malala and all these people, you should be naming them, highlighting how they can contribute into uniting Kenya and having a progressive Kenya. What kind of political philosophy do you have? What's your ideology? Are you progressive, conservative? What are you? How would you take this Kenya to the next level if you're going to support somebody? Tell us, highlight something from your manifesto. What's your dream for Kenya? What's your vision? How do you plan to bring all these leaders together to advance this country? Last time I checked, Gachagua, you and the whole lineup of that coalition of, I call it coalition of crooks, from Martha Karua, a known tribalist witch who received money from a American British tobacco company. She's already in the pockets of the West. Okay, Matiangi, need I say more? A known abductor who gunned down youth in 2017. Okay? We haven't forgotten that. Kalonzo Musyoka, we know he's useless. Okay? Name them. Everybody in that lineup is a freaking tribalist, corrupt, irredeemably corrupt politician. We don't need this anymore. We don't need tribal groupings. It needs to be said. I can't stress this enough. We cannot let these people, and we need not to pay attention to what they say. Don't give them a platform. Their time is up. Let Gachagua, if he has beef with Ruto, let him deal with Ruto in his personal capacity. We don't care if Ruto offered you the world. Keep it to yourself. As far as we are concerned, we would like to see you both in committee, chained and sentenced to death. It is very irresponsible. But unfortunately, majority of Kenyans are lapping up to this. We are buying into this. And we are very, we are tribalist. We try to hide it until we have this kind of conversation. When I attack your favorite tribal chieftain, you start catching feelings. Oh, sijui nini nini. But I guess we have to learn it the hard way. I guess that's what needs to be happening. I guess we have to learn it the hard way. Unfortunately, that's how we're going to learn then. We need another 2007 to happen for you guys to actually learn that this is not a game. Ukabila is not something to play with. Ni rahisi sahi kupiga kifua kwa sababu tuko na amani, relatively speaking. But once we get to a point where the law and the constitution is suspended and every man for himself, that's when you realize this wasn't funny. Making fun of that community and that community and that community. If you remember what happened in Kiambaa Church, if you remember what happened in Naivasha, if you remember what happened in Kondele, if you remember what happened in Rift Valley, this is not a game. But guess what? Some of you, well-educated, you just refuse to fight for what's right. You'd rather stick to your tribal man. Because in your warped thinking, you think that, okay, if your tribal leader is the president, you'll also stand to gain to be a president. Or you'll gain from that. And that's the problem we have. You hear Wanga speaking, oh, we are also in government. You and who, Wanga? You hear Wandai saying the same thing. Oh, we are now in the government. You and who? The Luo community is not in government. You and who? Hii mambo ya sijui shareholding, hii mambo ya ujinga hii, it needs to stop. And these leaders need to be confronted. We can't have this. Atibantu, Nilots, Nini. What kind of language is that? Rebel salute to Nyerere, Mwalimu Nyerere, for what he did in Tanzania. He made it in such a way, he had policies that were aggressively fighting the whole idea of tribal division. It was about nationhood, a republic. And that's what we desperately need in Kenya. A policy of inclusivity. Not campaigning to divide people along tribal lines. Gachagua, shame on you. Gladys Wanga, shame on you. Robert Alai, shame on you. Kaluma, shame on you. Opio Andai, shame on you. Martha Karua, shame on you. All you politicians who are using tribe to mukikutana hiyo coalition yenu ya ujinga, shame on you. Ruto, you too. Okay? We need to stop this. It needs to stop. Okay? Ayaga, I see you in the comment section. You're telling me to leave Nyanza province. Kwani Nyanza is not part of Kenya. Anything that is Kenya shall be talked about. And you don't get to decide what we talk about or not. I can talk about Raila Odinga, Nyanza province, and everybody else in it, including you. If you have any kind of motion in Kenya, we'll talk about you. So spare me your advice. Go help Raila Odinga make it to the AU. He probably needs that help. Okay? It's getting hot. Let me take a sip of my drink as I enjoy this wonderful weather. But that's what I'm talking about. That's what's bothering me about this whole Gachagua thing. Thank you. Tell him, Gypsy. We talk about anything. No one is above Nino reproach. We'll talk about anybody. Raila Odinga, his papa, his mama, his kids, everybody. If they're going to call themselves leaders and preach to us about what they're going to, how they're going to help Kenya, we have the right to interrogate, prod, challenge what they say and their action publicly. That is called democracy. This is an advanced class, Ayaga. If you're not ready for it, please go down the hallway. There's a 101 class down the hallway. Do your prerequisites before you get to this class. I'm sweating enjoying the weather. As I say, we cannot have a nation where we give microphone to people who spread hate. Didn't you learn from Rwanda 1994? Something that still might affect them in 2025, whether war in Congo, East Congo. I mean, again, that war is all about minerals, natural resources. So, but still, it's being ethnicized. But we need to take strong action against these people because it will boil up. And come 2027, if we do not, yeah, okay? If we do not, Ayaga naona unaumwa, the fake revolutionary. Do you know my revolutionary credentials? To call me fake revolutionary? Do you know my revolutionary credentials? Weka hapo unazungumza mambo ya baba. But anyway, I'm warning you. Just like I warned you guys a few years ago when everyone, including Ayaga, was here beating his chest, talking about Raila, oh, Raila tapata hii kitu, this time Raila tapata hiyo kitu. Thank you, Tony Owit. When I was telling you back in 2017, Ati Raila, I told you Raila is a con man. Mkasema baba anaenda State House. Sasa ndio anaenda AU. Sasa hiyo mnarukaruka AU akikosa mtaruka muende wapi? Mtaanza kusema 2027. Mtazungushwa mpaka For how long are you going to fall for this nonsense? But anyway, I did not want to make this long. On February 15th. That's when when is that vote? The vote is happening on the February 15th, the day after Valentine's Day. We shall see how it goes. Who told you I am Kenya or using it? Eric, we know, Ayaga, we know where you are. Stop lying to people. You are in Unio. You are in Kabwatch. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not here to argue with Ayaga. Ayaga is a depressed man. He's still holding on, clutching on straws, hoping Raila will make it to AU. We shall be here, Mr. Ayaga, on the 15th to help you mourn the loss of Raila Odinga. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, anyway, I won't keep you guys long. I'm sweating like a slave. I'll leave it here. It's been 26 minutes. Please like, share, subscribe. If you're going to watch this on repeat, do the same. And I will talk to you guys later. Amani Aji. Peace and blessings.